Welcome to my new video, and I'm going to be going quickly through a match, my last league match I played. So I started off with the 6-1, nice standard. 4-2 already. XG and me are disagreeing. XG wants me to play this and make the 4 points, but that leaves my 8 points open to a direct 6 or any 7, or some indirect 6s, such as double 3. Now, why would I want to get a third checker sent back? No, thank you. That is not on my agenda to do. The 4 point will be a nice point to make, but I'm not taking the risk of making it at the cost of the 8 point. So, the 8 point is nicely blocking 6s. I want to extend the prime, not shift points of the prime around. So I make the best move, which is bring some more builders down and start moving from the rear. There are very few roles that will hurt me, mainly not very likely roles such as 1-1, 3-3, or 3-1, which is only about 11% chance of occurring. Almost every other role, I'll live with it. Those will be the 4 dice rolls out of the 36 that I do not want to see. But yes, so I got punished by this, but there's no ways I'm playing XG's play. So I'm going to remove the analysis of that move because I do not accept the punishment. We go to the next one. Okay, hitting is obvious, but what to do after that? So XG wants to destack the 6 point, but that is not necessarily a structure that I would like to make, especially if my opponent enters with a 5-4 or a 4-3. I would not like my position. My opponent's made their 3 point. It's ugly. It serves very little purpose. I'm not about to make the same mistake, even if it's destacking my 6 point. I will destack the 6 point at a more appropriate time. I believe that the best move here is to make the very important 5 point. At this stage, I will give up the 8 point because the 5 point is stronger than the 8 point. Secondly, the 8 point is not currently blocking any checker as it was in the previous example. There is no check on the 2 point, so I do not need to immediately worry about blocking 6s from there. Furthermore, like I said, I don't want my opponent to enter the rolls like 5-4 and 4-3. I would rather take my 5 points at this stage. I will have lots of builders and be able to continue my attack from this position of advantage. So I also reject this punishment from XG and will remove the analysis that punishes me for that great move. I then roll 3-3 again. My opponent having entered with a 4-3. I'm even more glad I did not make the 3 point. But I get 3-3 again and have limited options. So now I will make the 3 point. I do not want to leave this check on 13 there. I would rather utilize it as a builder on my 7 point. I am more than happy with this. XG prefers stepping off the 24, but I don't think there's much in it. Both plays should be acceptable. I prefer mine, but I'm not gonna, go crazy over it. All right. I then get hit, and I'm now on the bar. I roll a double six. This is pretty unlucky because there's only double three, double six, and 6-3 that do not allow me to enter. And if I entered, I also had other combinations that would allow me to attack the opponent check on my 4-point. So I would consider this double six a very unlucky roll. My next opportunity to do anything is on the next roll when I roll a 4-1. My opponent has blundered by hitting me on the 24. So this 4-1 allows me to punish them for that, which I do. It's a forced move in any case. The opponent comes in and they should really be fighting at this point, but they almost capitulate by playing the 3 from 6 to the 3. A better 3 to play would have been to hit on the 5. We all know that, but they were scared to take more risk. So they played the passive play of 6 to 3, the safe play. This is typical of players who are not that good or that experienced. They do not understand when it's right to take a risk and when to play safe. 6-3 is not a very good move on a lot of metrics. But that's not my fault that my opponent played that move. So I then get a double 5 on the next roll. I want to continue attacking. I have the stronger home board. I have the momentum. I can hit on the 11 from the 21, and I can hit on the 2-point from the 7 and make that point. That is clearly the best move that you could play. It is what you should play. It is what I did play. So we put 2 on the bar. Now, sorry, this is a small error on my part. I was punished on this occasion for not cubing. XG says that I should have doubled here and has punished me 113. Why would I want to double so that my opponent can pass? I have got the best of it. There's very little risk to continuing, especially as I have a lot of combinations that allow me to build a 5' and to hit, double hit, many options. Doubling now and giving my opponent an easy exit out of a game that they are floundering in does not sound like a good tactic to me. XG needs to rethink its ideas. It's a terrible decision to let your opponent get out of this game when you have them so disadvantaged. So of course I did not give them an easy way out because I could easily win 2 points from this game. Now that is then when I rolled the double 5, and I was obviously vindicated by not letting them go, because after the double 5 they are in a world of trouble and I have got the world at my feet. They fan. I hit on the 4-point. XG wanted me to hit from the 10 instead of what I have played. XG just wants this. To be honest, I accept this is the best move because I keep 2s as an opportunity to cover the 4 instead of not having 2s as a covering option. That single fact is significant enough to make XG's move better than mine on this occasion. My opponent fans. I rolled double one. I was still able to cover it even though I took twos away from myself. My opponent is now in deep trouble. I should be nailed on to win a gammon, which is why I didn't send the cube on move 7, a decision that got me penalized for, even though it was the right move. So we will clear that error because I totally reject it. So I got double one, closed up, 5-3. Now I'm just looking to bring builders into play to avoid my opponent anchoring on the 1 point. I would not like them to anchor on the 1 point. So I'm looking to just get cover numbers into the zone. In a situation like this, the zone is anywhere from 7 to 2, so that I put checkers in direct line of the 1 point. My opponent fans again. I get double one. I continue with my plan. My opponent enters with one checker after rolling 2-1. It's a forced move. We get 4-2. Like I said, I wanted checkers here so that I could attack the 1 point and not allow my opponent to enter and anchor. My opponent dances. I'm able to cover, and the rest is pretty smooth sailing. I play uber safe to not give my opponent any chance of saving the gammon or even the game, as unlikely as it is. So I play safe and managed to easily win a gammon. Yet, at the end of this game, if you looked at the performance rating, I was told I played at a nearly 7 PR level because of those 2 checker plays and the cube decision. All 3 decisions that I was penalized for, I played them the best, so XG can go to hell. Game 2. We slot the 5 when we get a 5-1. We then get a double 4. We do not hit on the 5, and we do not anchor on the 20. Why not? I don't know. I just did not feel like doing so. Looking at it, what will be my 4 if I enter on the 21 and I play 24 to 20? I would be forced to play 39, which is not ideal given that my opponent is on the 5 point and a direct 4 would hit me. I do have no structure. I'm not sure. I was punished 211 for this move, which is a big punishment. I do not think that XG's move is worse or better than mine. I believe that there is a style at play, and it is not my style to seek a higher anchor at this point. Though, if my opponent made the 5 points, I would not necessarily be happy. It's interesting. I don't think there's a wrong or right. I'll repeat that. I don't think so. It's early in the game, and there's a lot of development still to transpire. And you cannot say with total conviction at such an early stage if a move is terrible or not, unless it actually is terrible. And mine is not terrible. So we'll leave it at that. I will not adjust the analysis. I do not feel strong enough that my play is the best. though I do not think it is the worst or worse than XG suggestion. It's just a different style. An awkward role in an awkward situation. Let's put it at that. Maybe I should have just hit loose on the 5. I would prefer that, probably, looking at it retrospectively. So that would look something like this. It's way down the pecking order. 13.5. Bar 21, 13.5 and 13.9. Why is that so far down? I can't find it. That's going to be the best move, actually. I have decided that is the best move. Bar 21, 13.5 and 13.9. Found it. This is the best move, looking at it now in retrospect. You are fighting for your 5 points. You're bringing a builder in. This is a move I would have preferred to play, and I believe this move is superior to the move I played in the game, and the move that XG suggests is the best. We move on. 3-1. I hit there. 6-1. I'm on the bar. Only bring 1 in. 4-3. Only come in with the 3, and I have a 4 to play. I could go to the 18. I could play 24-20, or I could attack and develop a sort of back game, which is what I decided to do. I've been punished by XG for that. I reject that punishment, so I clear it. I then get another 4-3. The 4 has to be 24-20. There's no other choice, and I am not playing 4-1. As I'm entering into back game, I'll put 2 blots in front of my opponent's last checker and pray that they hit me, so that I have timing to play an effective back game. My opponent does hit me. No, they do not. They hit me and make the 5 point. That is a good move. I come in and make the 22 point. I now have my double anchor back game, and I am groovy. I now want to prioritize the making of points. So the 4 is easy. Instead of hitting 6-2, which is just too wild, I make my 4 point. It still leaves the 8 point open, so I could get hit there, and that will help my timing. So yes, I did not have to play 6-2 to win the timing, when 8-4 creates a point and still might help my timing. My opponent doubled me, and it was an easy take for me, as everything was going according to my plan. I was hit on the 8, and then I fanned, which suited me to a T. I then came in with the 1-5 and was happy to hit, even though I have this blot on the 3, because if I get hit back, it makes me happy. Unfortunately, my opponent missed me on the 3 point, because that checker, I would like to recirculate it, because it's on the 3 point, and I want to make my 5 point before I make the 3 point. But anyhow, the 6-2 from the bar for my opponent means they hit my loose checker I had put on the 8 point, which is fine. I still get hit. I fan, which is fine. They roll a 3-2, which allows them to pick up another checker. This is great. I've now got 2 checkers on the bar. I have to bring 1 in, forced move. A 5-1 allows my opponent to once again give me 2 checkers. Double 1 is not ideal because it puts both my checkers in and does not really help my flexibility or timing. I would consider this an unlucky roll given that I'm looking to just dance on the bar. I decide to hit because I need to, I don't know, just buy myself some time to escape some checkers. The 1 was not great. I did not want to slot the 5 at this stage. I have a lack of flexibility with 6 of my checkers, and building when you are not flexible always gives you a risk of crunching. I'm happy with how I played this double 1. My next move to play is a 4-1, and like I said, I want to start freeing up some of these back checkers, so the 4 is forced, and for all intents and purposes, so is the 1. My opponent gets a 5-1, which is a nice roll for them, or so they think. They double hit me. Happy days. Let's hope I don't roll a double 1 again. I fan, which is great. I fan, which is great. I enter with 1 on the 1 point where I already have 5. This is not great because I might have to break my forward anchor just because I'm stuck on the 24 point. But what can I do? The dice do what the dice do. I fan again, and then I roll the 5-1 again. Now I've got 6 checkers on ace point. 2, 4, no, maybe more. 7 now. 7 on ace point. I cannot play from the 22 as I absolutely must keep my double anchor. If I give up my double anchor, I give up winning this game. So I play 8-3 begrudgingly. My next roll is a 3-1, and I'm in the same predicament where I am running out of flexibility because so many of my checkers are stuck on the 24 point. So I play it in a manner that I consider the best given the options available to me. As you can see, I went 8-7 and 6-3. Finally, I roll a 6. It allows me to hit on the 5 point and to bring a check at the 18. This is a non-brainer. Definitely, I will do that. It is not too early to hit when you've got 7 checkers on your 24. You need to buy yourself some time to start extricating some of these checkers so that you can have a better structure when the payoff to playing a back game materializes. My opponent enters straight away. I seize the opportunity to make the 20 point, and I have a 2 to play. I do not believe there is a right or wrong. Maybe 24-22 is slightly better. Looking at it now, I do not understand why I thought hitting was the best play. It probably does not matter significantly. I don't think that I've hurt my chances of winning much, but I do not understand on this occasion why I thought hitting on the 5 was better. I have enough checkers sent back. This gives me an opportunity to put a spare on the 22 as well as make my 3rd anchor. I should have just done that. My opponent hit me. I then fan. I come in next roll and hit back. And now this game is very finely poised. but it is not over. I've still got chances. So now it's about getting checkers into the outfield. My opponent has got limited flexibility, so there's a good chance of them having to leave me a shot. And if I've got 2 or 3 anchors still, when they leave a shot, I will have many dice combinations to hit the shot, which will then make me favorite to win. 4-3, I get to remake my 6-point, which is something I'm very pleased about. I do hate breaking the 6-point prematurely, but sometimes you have no option but to do what you don't want to do, because the dice have said you will do what you don't want to do. I then get 5-3. I'm not interested in hitting at this point, just bringing builders. So I play past my opponent's outfield checker. I then get a 6-2, and again it's clearing the 24 point. And now you can see my home structure is much improved. I have flexibility with these 2 checkers in the outfield. I have these 3 anchor back game points. So things are looking good. My current priority in the near future is to make my 5-point. My next roll is a 5-1. XG suggests I abandon the 20-point, but I do not think it's worth doing so. At this stage, it looks like a gammon safe play. This looks like a gammon safe play. Of what benefit is the 15-point? No benefit at all. I am trying to win this, not save a gammon. So I bring in a checker from the 16 to the 10, so that I now have a 5-3 to make my 5-point. My opponent is seriously running out of flexibility. 4-1 means that they play this way, fine. 4-4 was not so ideal, as it's a bit fast for my liking, but I have enough checkers to make it work. XG would like me to clear both my checkers on the 20-point. It does mean that if the opponent rolls a 1, they have to play it. But I am not yet ready to do that. I am happy to stay blocking the 20-point. What if they roll a double 1? They could move 3 checkers to 20 and then the 1 on to 21, and yes, there's no need to give them the chance of rolling, however unlikely the double 1 is, a lucky roll. This is the best move to play. You keep your 3 points and you bring builders into play to make the 5-point. My opponent now has got very limited flexibility and only 3 checkers off. There is still a game to win here. There are still points to win. 5-3, a bit too little too late, but I will slot my 5-point with the aim of completing it. I will not start running from my anchor points. I want to create maximum problems for my opponent by keeping my structure. XG punished me a whopping 231. XG knows nothing about backgames at all, and very little about backgammon in general. This is obviously a situation where I am completely right, and I would not deviate from this game plan in the future. Please feel free to slap me if you see me deviating from playing correctly in the future. So we slot the 5-point right. Why is it not showing initials like that? Final. Why is it not showing the final? Because I took away the move. Okay. Anyhow, there we go. My opponent rolls 5-3, which creates them a gap on their 3 points. No, it doesn't. They cannot move. Okay. I then get 4-1, which allows me to complete my 5 point. I am now ready to open a point on their side of the board. It is an interesting choice to open the 20 or the 22. I did not give it a lot of thought at the time. I think it stems from making threes play badly. If my opponent rolls a 6-3 or something of that nature, even a 4-3, they would have to leave 2 blots open. It seemed like this was the right idea, which is why I went for it. So make the 5 and step out from the 22. At no point did I consider playing 7-3. It was now time to give my opponent some awkward rolls. My opponent obliged me by rolling a 6-3, which was a forced move and left them in this position. If I can hit just one of these open checkers, this game is now mine for the taking. I unfortunately do not hit any one of them. This is very unlucky, as many dice rolls would have allowed me to hit at least one or both of them. But my opponent is still unable to tidy up sufficiently because their 5-1 means they can only safety one of the 2 checkers that was open. And this time I do get a dice roll that can hit my opponent. And I didn't do it. What the actual fuck? What the fuck? I am sorry, I do not know what the hell I did here. XG has punished me 1,327 for this mistake. I do not think I've ever got a punishment more significant than this. With only 4 checkers off, if I hit from the 24 to 19, I am a massive favorite to win. Why did I not do it or see it? Crazy. My opponent is then forced to play another 6-3, leaving 2 blots. This time I do see the hit and I take it. They fan. Any 2 gives me a second checker. XG says I should redouble at this point. But I am not sure if I want to pull the trigger just yet with 5 checkers off for my opponent and without picking up the second checker. It seems like I'm gambling on picking up the second checker or not. But even with just the one checker, my winning chances are very good. Yeah, perhaps I did chicken and I should have redoubled. You know, 2 moves ago, I just made a 1,300 blunder. So let's assume I wasn't thinking completely clearly during this passage of play. Maybe, and this is just me forwarding an idea, maybe what happened is when I rolled this 5-4 here, I could have been so incensed that I've missed one of my opponent's checkers. Like, whoa, like just absolutely fuming that I did not roll something like a 5-1 or a double one or a 3 or a 6. And I'm fuming, and then I miss the 3-2 hit. And then I miss this recube opportunity here. And it might all have stemmed from me feeling aggrieved about rolling the 5-4. That seems like the most plausible explanation for why I've had this little sequence in the match. Okay, this should really have been a redouble. I've got the world going for me here. Even if I don't pick up that second checker, I should easily be able to contain my opponent's checker, maybe generate future opportunities at a second checker, and win the race. That is if my opponent was even crazy enough to accept this redouble. XG believes that the right course of action here is to pass the redouble, not accept the redouble. But I didn't. I've played on. Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, I got that second checker. And now I probably definitely should cube because I can't win gammons. So now I've got 2 checkers. I've basically locked up the win. Basically. Why would I not recube immediately? Let us wait and see. So the opponent comes in with one of them. This is when I should just recube. I can't win a gammon. There's no need to play on. But it looks like I didn't. I should have been punished all here for not redoubling too, because this is all redouble opportunities. Okay, the move 6-1. Yeah, we're just coming, trying to close points. Opponent comes in, we come in. Opponent comes in, we miss. They come out and cover. Now it's not that easy because they're on the move. They've solidified. I'm not sure. Did I double hit there? Yes, double hit. That's obviously the right play. They come in with one. I now pull the trigger. Finally, I pulled the trigger. Could have done it a lot sooner, even before this play, but definitely after this play. I should have been cubing at this point. There's no gammons for me to win, and it's very unlikely my opponent will win from here, and I should just go all out on attack and cube, but I didn't. I'm going to stop the video here because I've been rattling on for a while now, and possibly your attention span and mine is going to wane the longer I keep droning on. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video as I discuss the 2 games that have been included in it. Please feel free to comment your opinions in the chat, where we can have a healthy, friendly, and respectful debate if that is what you would like. discussing backgammon positions is an activity that I do enjoy a lot. Until the next time I make a video, I thank you for watching and I wish you good rolling. Take care now. Bye bye.